I'm going to do today is replace the gasket on the petcock for the gas tank. It's got a little bit of a leak on it. I'm finished putting everything back together and then get the bike running today, get the carburetor adjusted. That way it's running properly so we can get it to the track, go through the break-in cycle for the engine to get the piston rings seated properly, and then we can start having some fun with it. Then after we do that, I'm going to start taking apart that little green quad back there and show you everything that I did to it, how I got the Predator engine mounted on there. Get the belt swapped out because it's eating the belt. I need to make sure that the pulleys and gears are all properly aligned. And also there's a certain way that the belt has to go on so that it doesn't keep eating the belt. I think I had it on backwards last time, but we'll check it out, get that thing going as well. So I got the gas tank set up here. Now I'm going to take the petcock off. Check out the seal, see how it's looking, and I'm just going to make a new one because I'm pretty sure it's bad. But I got that quart gasket, which is going to work perfectly for this, and it's a very simple process, especially to make a gasket for this. Now, as you can see, this has a rubber O-ring for a gasket rather than regular gasket paper. And there's a few flat spots on these corners, probably from the bolts being tightened down way too much. The filter's not clogged up, so there's not really a lot of gunk inside the gas tank, so I'm not going to worry about flushing it out. But I'm pretty sure that just a regular gasket, quart gasket's going to work fine, instead of ordering one of these O-rings. So I'll leave this on there. So I'll leave this rubber O-ring on there, and I'll make quart gasket to go around it, which is going to help seal. And the cork is soft, so it's just going to form around all of this, fill in any holes or anywhere that it was leaking from, and then it's going to seal up that leak. Basically what we have to do is make sure that we can get all three of these holes lined up properly. And again, I'm going to use just a regular piece of paper. I'm going to put it on here, scratch in the first hole, find the next one, and third hole. So now we have all three holes imprinted exactly where we need them. You can either use a razor knife and cut it out, or you can take something sharp, punch it. Probably be a little cleaner to cut it out. Now we'll just take our 3 holes, transfer it over to the gasket paper, and then start cutting that out. I've got some cork gasket here. It's really good for sealing fuel systems. I'm gonna cut a little piece off of this, about as much as I'll need. I've got a little piece here, it's long enough. We'll take this, we'll center it. Center it the best you can, it doesn't have to be perfect. Mark it out with a Sharpie. We've got our holes on there, now we'll cut them out. I'm gonna let this sit for about 5 or 10 minutes, give it time to let the fuel settle, and then I'll come back and check and see if we have any leaks. gasket underneath this, get rid of that oil leak. Today we replaced the gasket underneath the petcock for the gas tank, changed the oil, and now ready to see if we can get it to fire up and run right. Adjust the carburetor a little bit, and then after all that's done, I'll finish putting it back together and it'll be ready to ride. It's my man, Toothless. A little bit of sunbathing. What you doing, fatty? Valentina. So as you can see, I got it running. Started up on second kick after I cleaned off the spark plug. Well, the first time I started kicking it over, it wasn't doing anything, so I took the spark plug out, tested, make sure that it had spark, and it was pretty saturated in oil. And that was from when I put the engine back together. I left one of the O-rings out that keeps oil from getting down into the spark plug. And once I replaced that, I guess I didn't clean the spark plug out good enough. So I got all that out, it fired up on the second kick, and then after that it died, and I couldn't get it to start again. So it's possible maybe the valves came out of adjustment, and that's what I'm gonna make a video on next. Go through, adjust the valves, at least check the valves to make sure they're not out of adjustment, and if they are, then most likely it'll be an intake causing the hard start issue. So that's gonna be the next video, and we'll see you then.